And oh man, Andy, I'm telling you, it is cold this morning. Chilly. Woke up, I don't have one of those electric starts or remote starts, or I gotta go do it the old-fashioned way. I gotta go, like, feed the horses first, you know. Yeah, cold. It's colder than a witch's tit, or a brass monkey's balls, or the balls on a brass monkey. What does that have to do? Are witches' tits colder than other tits? And what about those balls on monkeys? It's real confusing why those things are correlated with being cold out. Last week, Andy, it snowed, what was it, 3.5 days straight? 4 days? And then on the weekend, too? I, shoveled for, 72 hours straight. I know, it just came down and came down and came down. And like I said, with the witches and the monkeys, it's cold out. It's like January, February cold out. It's not even Thanksgiving yet here in Montana. I've discovered, or not discovered, I've discovered binge watching TV? I mean, I watched, the first thing I watched Reacher in one shift. It was an 8-hour shift. I just sat down and watched it. Watching Ozarks and a couple other ones. But we're going to go here, Andy. When I was a kid, or not a kid, but a little, in my 20s and stuff, we had what was developed by a writer for television called Stephen Cannell, and he did a show, and they were called arcs. And I know that binge watching and arcs are two different things, but maybe not. I mean, I just watched a season of Reacher, and it took the whole season, and these arcs were like, Wise Guy, Andy, is the first one that comes to mind. A television show that used arcs, and it took all season long to tell this story. So that's kind of what this binge walking is. And Wise Guy was actually very good for its time. It had, who was on it? Ray Sharkey, and a young Kevin Spacey, a young Joan Severance. Patty Darbenville was his girlfriend for a while in the music arc. Jerry Lewis, remember he played a Jewish mobster in the Carpet Districts in New York. That was a really, really good show, and I really liked it. What? Well, whatever happened to Ken Wall? Ken Wall, rumor, story, is that Ken Wall was at a party at an actress's house who was an up-and-coming actress at the time, and he fell, hurt his back, spent years addicted to pain pills, and basically just that. Wise Guy was, that critically acclaimed television shows that used arcs, which is kind of like binge watching. I'm amazed, Andy, how much time goes by. On Reacher, it was it's earlier in the day, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Next thing you know, it's like I've showered, eaten. It's 8 hours later, just pulled an 8-hour shift, watching TV. It is fun though, and I'm learning that the major players aren't the ones that you really need to be watching. There's a series on Paramount Plus, there's series on Amazon Prime, there's series on Hulu, all the usual suspects. So it took time last week, Andy. I took the shoveling and binge watching, and oh shit, I almost forgot. No, I didn't. I watched the elections last week, didn't you? As of 7:30 Monday morning, and it is Monday the 14th. Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah, okay. I not get paid for that, Andy. I should have this stuff here. I do? Okay. As of 7:30 a.m., Monday, November 14th, there's still races to decide. Now, hold on now. Wait. Now, you're grumbling. I can hear you, but the races in in Arizona and Colorado are taking so long because Republican legislation made it so that they needed to confirm and count every ballot by hand. So if it's taken longer and you're a Republican conservative, shut up because you voted that in. So anyway, as of 7:30, well, now it's not 7:30. It's not quite 8 o'clock yet. Not 8 a.m. yet. I haven't looked at any news since I walked in the door about 6:30. Lauren Boebert is still leading in Colorado, District 13. 98% of votes in. She leads by less than 100 votes. And Katie Hobbs is leading Carrie Lake, the fire and brimstone. I'm going to put the press out of business. She shut my podcast down, like right in the... No, she tried to shut it down, but, Carrie Lake, she's trailing Katie Hobbs by minuscule amount of votes. And, of course, Carrie Lake, we mentioned Carrie last Monday when Carrie was... already, last week, she was complaining about voter fraud. Now, I think some of that extreme talk, Andy, in my opinion, why there was... all I heard was, in the media here and in social media and Facebook and Instagram, there was a red tsunami, a red wave, a red whatever. The Red Army... like the Russian army, the Red Army, look how good they're doing. There's no red wave. There wasn't even a red babbling brook. It was, gained a couple seats, but geez, sounded like the sky was falling, that we were all going to be wearing red and marching in the square. So, no, there was no... red wave. Just briefly, since the Roe versus Wade was overturned by our Supreme Court earlier this year, 7 states, 5 this election cycle, and Kansas and New York before that, Kansas a very red state, all 7, and that would be this cycle too. So since the Roe versus Wade decision, New York, Kansas, California, Kentucky, Michigan, Montana, and Vermont have all had abortion on the ballot, and they've all been defeated on all 7 states. So that kind of tells me that when it comes to push and shove, the people on Facebook and Instagram, Andy, are old white men are mad about this. Abortion and killing kids. It's like, no, it's a woman's right to choose. 7 states so far has put it on the ballot. They've all passed. Women have spoken. When women get out and vote, issues that women are concerned with go their way. And that's just the way it is. So women speak, and the white men in the Facebook and Instagram complain, and I don't get it. But that's how the elections kind of went. What I did learn, and I was going to get this later, but what I did learn by the elections this cycle is that America is now in a three-party system. Okay, let me explain that. They are exactly in a three-party system. Okay, and I will tell you what the three parties are. They are Democrats, they are Republicans, and they are Trump MAGA supporters. That's how the election turned out. Trump supported 16 candidates. 15 are either lost or in runoffs. The only one that he supported in that one was J.D. Vance in Ohio. Okay? So that shows me that the Republicans carried some candidates, but they weren't Trump-backed candidates. Herschel Walker in Pennsylvania, or in Georgia. Amendment Oz in Pennsylvania, Andy, and Herschel in Georgia. Okay, Herschel Walker in Georgia, and I got some notes here, but I know about Herschel Walker because I'm a football fan, I'm a sports fan, okay? So, and Herschel was involved in the big Dallas, Minnesota trade in the 80, 90. He was a Heisman winner, played for Georgia. I know who Herschel is, okay? And because I know sports and all of that, I also know who Herschel is. Herschel is a womanizer. He is a, what do I have? I have serial abuser. Not breakfast cereal. 3 different relationships, okay, have ended in spousal abuse and threatening with guns. Herschel's got his guns taken away, okay? And this is all when he was playing football. And this isn't stuff that I'm like, oh, I had to dig for it during brunch. No, it was like I knew about it because it was well documented in the press, especially the sporting press. Oh, fuck fake news. You know, we know Herschel, okay? Now he's standing about against abortion. He has 4 children instead of the 2 he acknowledges. He stands out against abortion, but evidently he's paid for 2 abortions. Andy, is it 2? So Herschel Walker is, I wouldn't vote for him. He's a goddamn he's an idiot. He's a moron. I watched another podcast, and I watched 2 actually this last week, and they were a couple of very well-known. I watched Howard and I watched Joe, and they both have the same opinion of Herschel as I do. He's a piece of garbage, okay? Human garbage. He's a spousal abuser. He can't have a firearm. He's lied every time he's turned around about everything. Pennsylvania. Now let's talk about Pennsylvania. Another Trump-supported Mehmet Oz, whatever his name is. What I'm hearing on Facebook is, how could you vote for a stroke victim that's like, damaged and brain damage? It's like, let me tell you something, people. The stroke brain damage, I got brain damage, Andy. The stroke brain damaged guy, okay, is a better pick than Mehmet Oz. Okay, what is Mehmet Oz? He was a former sex surgeon, became a television doctor because of Oprah. Him and Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil and Oprah. She was like, you're a doctor, everybody's a doctor. And next thing you know, we got Dr. Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I am Oz. Yeah, Oz. He's a freaking moron. And let's talk about Dr. Oz, shall we? You Republican folks, okay? People are mad, shouldn't have voted for him. And 1989 to 2010, Dr. Oz oversaw research that led to the death of over 300 dogs in animal research. Okay. Okie dokie then. You know what I think of Oz. Okay? If he were killing dogs, I'll vote for the stroke victim and be better off. I've worked with stroke victims in another career, and let me tell you something. You know, you just don't vote for someone because of the initial behind their name. Yeah, I better vote for Oz because he's a Republican. Yeah, but he's a quack. He kills dogs. Yeah, but he's better than a stroke victim. When? What day? Okay? So, I didn't like Herschel, and I don't think he's going to win in the runoff in Georgia, and I'm glad Oz got beat. You know, we don't need more movie and TV personalities in politics. We need people that know what's going on, not dog killers like Oz. Okay? You just don't vote. Montana voted all red, which does not surprise me. What does surprise me is that Montana's voted. We have the new district that opened up. Ryan Zinke was running. Ryan Zinke, the Republican candidate. If you remember Ryan, what do we got here? Ryan Zinke was fired by the Trump administration. So if the Montana's red in their MAGA, why would they vote for someone that was fired by the Trump administration for 18 violations? 18. Giving access to wilderness, to Halliburton under the table, just crossing endangered species. Fuck him, we'll go kill him. Buying, what was it, Andy? $2,000-$3,000 doors for his office out of the taxpayer dollar. Trump canned him. Montana voted for him. Oh, he's a good guy. I was not surprised of any of the things that happened in the elections of Montana. Great Falls, Andy, did they? It's confirmed, actually. Mon Snoop says that we could get dispensaries passed very, 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 very close. But dispensaries are a go, Andy? Is that what you're telling me? Andy's telling me. I've been living under a rock, I'm telling you. I've been watching Ozarks 8 seasons and, going crazy. So, yeah, it's a three-party. It's a three-party system now. Yeah, the hardline Republicans and the MAGA do not agree. Okay, they're not agreeing on stuff. Ron DeSantis is the conventional Republican Party wants to move on. The MAGA say no, and Trump his candidates didn't do well, Andy. They just didn't do well. Is it rumor this week, Andy, today's Monday now, everybody's got to remember, by the time you see this, we've already been here and gone out of the studio, and the 8 o'clock news is the 8 o'clock. I am the 8 o'clock news, and I bring you fire, to give you to burn. I'll see you burn, baby, burn. Okay. All right, sorry, Andy, I had to get that out of my system. So, basically, I'm the 8 o'clock news. So as of 8 o'clock, the stuff, I don't know if Lauren won or not. So, and by the time this is posted and I get out of here, I probably will. But as of this morning, at about 7:45 to 8, last week on all the news sources are saying that Donald Trump is going to announce his third run. Is it the third run this week? Might be announced by the time I walk out of here. But, or it could have been announced last night, Sunday, and I just missed it. So I was binge watching. I forget what I was watching. I'm getting Sons of Anarchy. I never watched it. It was on TV, too. They get away with a lot of shit. Kind of makes it kind of a little unbelievable. But anyway, so Trump announced that he's going to run he said last week he's going to run this week. However, also last week, did you see this, Andy? Now, Trump owns the social media Truth Social, right? And so last week on Truth Social, Trump posted to the effect, I don't have the post, I've read it, I watched the news report on it, to the effect that during the Florida 2016 governor's election, that he came in and he bragged about saving the campaign for poor DeSantis, and he sent FAB Treasury. Somebody sent agents down there and the such not. Now he posted this. I'm not making it up. It was on Truth Social. It might even still be there. So my question is this, and it's a very simple question. And it's an either or, okay? It's not, multiple choice. It's not addition. It's not subtraction. It's not chemistry. It really amounts to an either or. If he posted, in his own words, that, DeSantis won the 2016 governor's election because of Trump sending, agents down there to stop the steal and whatever, okay? Then it's an either-or question. Did he really admit in writing that he interfered and fixed with an election? Or is he just a freaking liar? I'll wait. Well, which is it? Did he interfere with the election, or is he just a liar? Okay? Those are your only two choices. There's not a third one. Well, he was just saying that because we were at brunch the other day and, I didn't know if I want eggs or not, so we just thought we'd say that we fixed the election. No. It's an either-or, people. And that's why we have a three-party system now in this country. It's because a lot of the Republicans are not. They're tired of it. They're tired of it. It's like, everything's fixed. Everything's rigged. Okay? For Donald, it's rigged. The magazine that failed, it was the publishers that were rigged against them. Beauty pageant, the owners were rigged. The failed casinos, the New Jersey Gaming Commission was rigged again. It just goes on. Everything's always poor me. That's why you're getting off the three factions now. You have the regular Republicans. That's Ron DeSantis. I don't think Trump can get. I just don't think the midterms showed that. They showed that people are tired of the same old. What? What was the decision? I don't know. Either he lied or he did. Either he lied on social media or he didn't, and he fixed the election, which means election interference. So either he lied or not. That's an either or. I think that Ron DeSantis is the new face. I'm not a political expert. Donald Trump is what, 75, 76? Enough of the old white men, please. If they're going to be men in white, have them a little younger. How about Reacher? Not the, yeah, how about that guy? Was in the Aquaman CW series, Reacher. So, the political red wave didn't materialize. It didn't materialize because I believe that the Republican Party is still fractioned. And I've been saying that, Andy, for months now. You have the hardline Republicans and you have MAGA, and they're the same. Okay? All three parties, Democrats, Republicans, and MAGA, have a different vision for this country and a different ideal person to lead that vision. And they're all three different. So my midterms were interesting. Very interesting, Andy. And I'm interested that they got what? We got Judge Grubeck. That's right. All right, Judge Grubeck. All right, Dave. All right, David, you got reelected. The taxes in both medical, and I don't like that because you shouldn't tax medical. You said you wouldn't, but anyway. And then city limits, and what about they need a warrant for devices now, good deal. So everything I thought that should have been passed was passed. I didn't vote for Zeke. I didn't vote for him because he had 18 violations in Washington and was fired by Trump. But, because he had an R by his name. But what? It's a dead horse? I'll show you a dead horse. All right. It's a dead horse. What else? No Monday morning, the recap of last week would be complete without Elon Musk. Twitter's like a World War II movie where you see the American fighter pilot plane or the Japanese Zero or what from Mr. Smith. He's ruining Twitter already. And, Kanye, what the... he kicks him off. He doesn't let him on. Well, Trump comes back, but he doesn't want it back. And now it's Elon saying any word goes, anything goes, freedom of speech. You can use the N word. You can just, checks. They got green checks, blue checks, gray checks, checks here, wheat checks party mix, checkmate, Czechoslovakia. What's he doing with all these checks? And you got to pay to be... See, I'm not on Twitter anyway because I used my real email address instead of the Pipewrench address. And when I tried to put me as Pipewrench, the Twitter was like, you can't be Pipewrench. I'm like, why can't I be Pipewrench? Well, you got to be your real name. And for those of you out there that don't know, no, my mother did not name me Pipewrench. It's my on-air persona, radio, my radio voice and radio name. But yeah, I don't know what Elon's going to do. I'm not going to get into bashing Elon Musk. I don't like him. I don't like anything about him. He reminds me of other people that I don't like. He does smoke weed, but, I think he's going to ruin Twitter. And Mark laid off too. Mark laid off what? Between them, they're like 30,000 between the two companies. And these are people that, remote. And that's, people are like, well, remote is the wave of the future. No, Yahoo, Oracle, Facebook, Twitter called. They want you back in the office. If you're not coming back to the office, you want to work from home, find another job. People that have moved up here from California, Andy, I've already heard it. well, I'm working remote for brunch, and for Elon or Mark or Adobe or whoever. Okay, and I'm remote, and I'm just going to go to brunch instead of work. And if he wants me to go work back at the office in San Francisco, I live in Montana now. I'll just find another $100 an hour job. Good fucking luck. Good luck, man. So yeah, the whole Twitter fiasco. I'm not on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram, and I don't do nothing on Instagram at all. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, SoundCloud. For those of you that wonder what SoundCloud is, it's all my audio stuff that isn't on video. Audio, hence audio files. What else? Oh yeah. Not a big fan of Saturday Night Live. It's changed over the years. I thought the last great group of of course you have the not ready for primetime players. That was Belushi and Aykroyd and Gilda Radner and Jane Curtin and Lorraine Newman and Garrett Morris and Bill Burr. You know who I'm talking about. And I think the last great group was the group that had Dana Carvey, Mike Myers, Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, David Spade, that group. Okay. But I did watch it this Saturday night, Andy, and I watched it because the hoopla, there's that word again, hoopla. Remember, hoopla is just noise and chatter to try to mislead you. Remember that now. Dave Chappelle. Writers didn't want to write. People didn't want to be on the show. I don't want to be on there because Dave Chappelle. You're cutting edge, Saturday Night Live. Okay? You're cutting edge, or you used to be. Okay? You wouldn't. I'll tell you what. I thought his opening monologue, was some of the best stuff that Saturday Night Live has done since the original Not Ready for Primetime Players, writers that were scared of him. His words were both. When his words were funny, they were funny. Okay? When his words were serious, they carried fucking weight. It was a raw monologue. It was good work, Dave. Good work. I enjoyed it thoroughly. What do we got, Andy? We got Kherson. When the troops go marching to Kherson, they're gonna have brunch. No, they're not. All right. The big news last week with Russia, Kherson is now fallen, and all the Russian troops have abandoned the city. One of the major provinces that Putin annexed is now back in full Ukrainian control. Right? Can you say Syria? The same thing happened. They retreat. They act like they're going to brunch. Next thing you know, they're nuking everybody. That's all the word that they're saying. So, I think he's thoroughly beat. I think the world's, Andy, I do. I keep telling people to duck and cover. And hey, don't you stop doing them duck and cover drills. And in New York, remember, you got to come in, go upstairs, pull out the steamer trunk, go under the beds, do 7 Hails of Mary. Everybody else, you can just duck and cover. Remember in high school, you're not old enough. When I was in high school, when I was in grade school in Michigan, kindergarten, all of that, we do under the desk drills. Remember those? Under the desk, we have to get under our desk in the classroom and, get into a fetal position. And, oh my God! And that was tornado drills. And that was, 63 had just been, Cuban Missile Crisis era and all that. So, now I send you out outside to, enjoy yourself. So, as I said, the elections last week, Andy, I was surprised. I thought, from all indications, there was going to be a red wave and tsunamis, and women stood up again for abortion. Republican Party is more fragmented than ever. They need some unity. I think the Democratic Party is lost. I mean, they're not even seizing on the opportunity, which shows me that both parties don't know what they're doing. I'm not on Twitter. No. I liked Dave. It was a real, Dave Chappelle was really good. So, Andy, that's it. Supposed to be cold this week. Winter's here. Everybody, please drive careful. Now, I'm going to say this, not to duck and cover, but I'm going to say this about kissing your dogs. Everybody really needs to realize that you need to spay and neuter them boys and girls, okay? If everybody would just help do that, we would reduce the population in shelters by leaps and bounds. So winter's here. Please, in the Great Falls area, if you have a dog outside of the city limits and you don't want that dog and there's nowhere to turn, my personal message is always open. Just message me and I'll help you. All right? Don't just drop them off somewhere. Everybody, Andy, that's it. Andy says, Andy's doing this. You know that this. All right? He says, wind it up. So I think I covered it all this Monday morning. It's cold out. Drive safe. Be safe for the rest of your week. Kiss your dogs. Spay and neuter. Empty the shelters. Adopt, don't shop. All of that good stuff. Love your dog. Love your neighbors. Till next week, Andy, I am Pac-Man out of here. Later.